Incredible morning, good people. Incredible morning. How are you guys doing? It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. I'm a little bit better today. So I wanted to come on, not going to be on super long, but I wanted to come on because I'm actually in the midst of cleaning up the aftermath and looking at this pile. I was like, yo, I got to show people, right? So some of you guys know I had, major family event this past week, and weekend. So I ended up having to do a lot of different things. And uh, a lot of it was sublimation and shirts and stuff. And they were double-sided shirts, right? So this is the aftermath, right? And look at all of this cover paper. Like, I'm not going to go one by one, but I'm just going to kind of flip through so you can kind of see, like, look at all of that. There's still some tucked away back there. And I'm going to tell you something when it comes to this. I'm going to kind of give it a minute for the notification to pick up before I really get into it. So if you're coming on, if you're already on right now, if you're watching the replay, you're going to see me go through this pile again. I just didn't want it to be a bunch of dead air. So I'm going to kind of go through it. And then we're going to go through it again. Oh, Lord. Come on. Get back up. Get back up. Okay. That's all of the cover paper, right? Here are all of the subprint papers. I lay them flat. It's a lot easier to toss and get rid of stuff when you leave them flat and you don't ball them up. So if you guys don't know that, try not to ball up your sheets. Leave them flat. That way you can fold them in half and press it down, and then it'll make it a lot easier with throwing away large quantities. Well, not throwing away. I actually recycle. So with recycling large quantities of paper, I leave them all flat. But that's that. So with this pile right here, right? Let me tell y'all a little something about this. Right, first, let me go through the regular. Let's get back into the groove of things, right? So, hello everybody. I am Shakia, the professor of HSE 365. We are the parent company of Silaholics Anonymous, the product line, honestly speaking, which is why we're going live about this, because our paper just, I could only imagine, right? And then 365 Creative Academy, where I teach you guys how to unlock your creativity, mainly through using Silhouette Studio. But at some point, I may end up introducing some other programs as well. But so I'm going to break it down like really quick. If you guys don't know, we sell sublimation paper. This is a teaching moment, but I mean, I guess some would say it's an advertising moment, but it's also just simply a teaching moment. Like, seriously, guys, y'all know I'm all about teaching first. So we do sell sublimation paper. Boom, there it is. I'm speaking sublimation paper, 120 GSM, 100 sheets. We also sell the rolls as well. So with our sublimation paper, you don't need to use a cover sheet, right? Because it doesn't bleed through the back. This is the part that's like most important. Most of them, which I think I have, oh Lord, I don't know how I'm going to find it, but I have something that I made a mistake and put the wrong one in the printer because it was just in a stack of 13 by 19s, and it bleeds through the back. Hold on. Gosh, so much stuff here. I don't know if I don't know how far down that one is. I know it's from a rag, but I don't remember how far down it is. But I mean, on all of these, you're not going to really see the image through the back because it doesn't bleed through, and we don't over sublimate because we can press at much lower temperatures and times, right? Most papers, and traditionally, although I will say there are a lot of papers that are coming out now, the powers that be and the manufacturers overseas over there in China, they are making a lot of people are changing how they're doing it, and just things are changing from what was traditional and how sublimation paper was made. So a lot of people can boast about, not having to use butcher paper and stuff like that. We're not the only company that that claims that. Okay, here we go. Look, I knew it was in here somewhere. So here's a really big difference. So these are, as you can see, This is that print. It's the exact same print on this side. Exact same thing. They both were prints because I didn't realize I had the wrong paper in my printer. I pressed them both at 365 for 30 seconds, right? Well, this is our actual paper. This is another brand of paper. I don't even remember which one it was. It probably was like one of the tester ones I tested out. And I need to really just get rid of most of that stuff or just use it as cover paper. But as you can see, this bleeds through, right? So what this means is this right here could get on your platen. So once you press it on your top platen, this can transfer on it. So the next time you go and you press something, and let's say the whole thing isn't covered by cover paper or summation paper, and there's like a lot of exposed white, like the substrate is just exposed, the impression or the ink from here that transferred to your platen will then transfer again to your white surface or your summation substrate, your media, your material, whichever one you're using. So now it's going to create a ghost. With paper like this, you have to put a cover sheet on top. It doesn't matter if it is butcher paper, parchment paper, craft paper, newsprint. In this case, I used a roll of tacky summation paper, not ours. This was a roll that I got from other companies and I did not care for them, so I didn't use them. I don't use them anymore. So I just cut it all up to use this cover paper. You can use regular copy paper if it's something that's small. You can use like the paper that you get from like the craft stores for kids to paint on. It doesn't matter. You can use anything as a cover sheet. The goal is to catch this ink and keep it from getting on your platen and then transferring to something else. So this is traditional summation paper. Even when it has people's names on the back and stuff like that, this is normally what you get. And this is what you have to use, cover paper or butcher paper. That's the most common name that people use, or common type that people use, because it's the least expensive. You get the big roll from Sam's. This is our paper. And as you can, let me know if I'm tripping. I know I'm not, but do you guys see the difference in, honestly speaking, summation paper and what can be any traditional ordinary summation paper? So with this one, no matter what paper you're using, unless you are using paper that is really, really thin. So let's say like your 105s, your 110 GSMs, they're really, really thin papers. You're going, or if you're covering, like no part of the paper touches your polyester substrate, you're going to get lines of demarcation, which is the impression from here, because it is a soft surface. And we say paper thin. In most cases, paper isn't really that thin for certain things. So as you press down, the impression from the edges of your paper will get into your shirt. Even if you tear it away, you're going to get that. Tearing away, so could you imagine if I did what most people tell you to do? They tell you to rip the edges to not get that line. Do you see how many prints I did? And when you have to trim around all the sides, who, not I, said the cat, the dog, or the frog, will be going and trying to tear this away. And then some of the prints are really, really close to the edge. So tearing them, it just really, really would not work because you could rip into your image. So I have to trim. So look, here's my trash can, all my little trim pieces down, and there's actually some more all over my floor. Got to clean all this up. Today's cleanup day. So I have to cut them down. If you're doing production, and let's say, this was all literally done within a 24-hour period, like for real. Maybe 30, no, maybe 36, but this was all done pretty much boom, 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 like within a day and a half. So, hold on, what was I saying? I can't go, and if you're doing production like this and this many items, imagine doing that. That's going to slow you down. You have to be able to make money. You have to be able to get these jobs in and out, get them done, get them done, get them done. So if you're doing all these little things, like it's cute, it's like it's nice to say, nice to do when it's real cute, and you only have one or two things to do, and you're like, okay, well, this works for me. Well, it'll come, and I pray that the day will come. Well, that won't work for you because you have an order like this. You have an order that's going to be this big within one day. And all those little cutesy things that people teach you to do are not going to work for you. So you need to start in your infancy, in the beginning, doing things like the correct way and the most effective way, so that when you are here and you're doing this every day, doing it like this, it's more efficient, right? So ripping them away, you still get that impression. It's just not one straight line. You're going to see that wave on your paper. The 105s and 110s, those work great in large format printers, not your desktops. The way that desktops are made, they're not going to pick up those thin papers. You're going to get a lot of paper jams because of the thinner way the thinner paper is made, and then the way Epson desktop printers are made and how it pulls in the papers, you're going to get a lot of paper jams. That is made, like, the really thin papers are great for large format. The really, really wide ones that's on a roll, because that's a continuous feed. It's not picking up the paper every single time. So those, a lot different, right? But for the desktop ones, which is my audience, most of the ones who I teach, you guys are using this, right? You're using some sort of desktop printer, right or wrong. If there's anyone that's using like more so large format printers, let me know. If you're using a small format printer, let me know in the comments which printer you are using. But we have to use a paper that's at least 120 GSM or higher to avoid having a lot of jams. So you're going to get that line of demarcation. Well, when you have that line, you have to press out. If you didn't see my video, I was live as I did most of these shirts. I show you guys like me pressing out the line on there. Certain shirts, it holds it a little bit more than others. Some of the other ones that are more like you guys say quote unquote cotton, don't hold it as much as the actual, it doesn't hold as much as like regular, like Team 365 and Sports Tech are different than like the Yazbak or like other ones like that, Gildan Performance, because it's a thinner shirt. It's not going to hold it. A lot of people boast about having really thick, we have thick polyester shirts. This is the thickest shirt. It's not going to be, I don't care what you do. Polyester in itself is see-through. If you have clothes that are like a lot of, we have family members that wore white to my grandmother's service, and you can see through certain things like polyester. You can just see through it. I don't care how thick it is. Thick shirts actually are not great for sublimation. The thinner shirts really, when you're not doing an all over print, thinner shirts really are the better option because of that whole line of demarcation. So we have to press it out. This year, there's a few in here for when I did the towels, and it's only a one-sided print. There's a few in here where it's only one side because it was for the this is not my grandma, but this is for the metal cards. So there's a few in here that are only single-sided, but most of these I used both sides of it. Watch my video, you'll see how I use both sides. But most of it is, like I said, it's double-sided. Like I use both sides of the cover paper. And this is where we're at. Can you imagine how this would have looked had I had to put a butcher paper or cover paper first on top of the print? And remember, polyester, like any type of ink, once you heat it up, it's going to gas out again. So the paper that you put on top of here to protect your platen, you can't use that again when you take it off and press out the lines, because the ink that's on the cover paper will then transfer. So this is a one and done type deal. So you would have to use a cover sheet for this. Then you're going to have to use another cover sheet to press out the lines. The shirts were double-sided. So then I would have to use another cover sheet for the paper, and then another cover sheet to press out the lines. How high do you think this pile would have been had I not been using, honestly speaking, sublimation paper? This would have been outrageous. So for you guys that are coming on, I did it in the beginning. I'm gonna it looks pretty high. Okay, there's my plait in there. I'm gonna kind of pull back some so you can somewhat see. Look at that. All right, so, ooh, Lord, hold on. Don't want this falling again. It took me forever to get that right, and I don't want it falling because now I have to go in and fold it all up so I can throw it in the recycle bin. But so which would you prefer, y'all? Like using paper that you have to use a cover sheet for, or gray paper like ours? Like I said, I am one to where, yes, I have a business. We don't manufacture the paper. And some people say, oh, you're biased, Like, yeah, of course you're going to say it's great. You sell it. But there's a difference in what we do here and other companies. If you can name one company that sells sublimation paper that gives you education like this, I'll give you a pack. Well, the first person that can tell me a company that teaches you about sublimation paper, like about sublimation, that teaches you about your business and how an effective and efficient ways of doing things. If you can name one company that sells paper that does that, I'll gift you a pack of ours. The first person that can tell me someone that you can show me proof that they give you this. So for me, it's not just about the product. Yes, I did a lot of research. Like I said, this came from a company that sent me paper so that I can test it out. I did not go with this one. And if you look at the release on it, which this is probably going to, next year when this pops up, this is probably going to make me ball out of control. But at the same time, I know that my grandmother's going to be proud of me. I'm going to be well past this. Like, I mean, just thinking about how she was just boasting on me the last like 2 weekends before she passed away. I know I'm gonna be so far past this where, you know, I'm probably not gonna cry, but this is probably gonna make me cry. Just seeing this, like when this video comes back up again, right? So this is the results, right, of those two prints. 365 degrees, 30 seconds. Y'all know my heat press does not leave 365. My timer, unless I'm doing certain, well, it'll probably go lower. It's very rare that it's going to go higher. And I'm always pressing at 30 seconds. And this is the results, right? Look at the difference in that release. This is something where, because it's holding on to the ink, this could have easily ghosted if your heat press popped up because there's so much left on there. Our paper completes the sublimation process. There's nothing left to like ghost or anything like that. So this is, I mean, I could have, now the colors, I'm not gonna say that it doesn't sublimate. I showed a picture. If you haven't seen that picture, I said, okay, what's the difference? You can see the difference in the blues, the clarity in her skin and all of that, right? And this works, right? And if I would have pressed this at 400 degrees, 45 seconds, 395, 45 seconds. Rhinestone World does not sell sublimation paper. Rhinestone World does not sell sublimation paper. So if I would have pressed this at 400, I probably could have gotten closer to this type of release. But when I was researching paper and I'm going through, like I'm choosing what I know is best for the people that I teach, you know, and this is why I chose this. This is why I did the research. This is why I teach the way that I teach, not just to sell a product, but to help everyone be more efficient and be able to make money doing this, and to be able to, whoa, about to fall again. Oh, hold on, y'all. This phone has to go down. Hold on. All right, there we go. That's the part I dislike, the use of so much paper. And this is more so, yeah, like with shirts. Like when I'm using like hard substrates, to be honest, I never really wanted to use sublimation for shirts. It's just crazy. Like I've been thrown into doing a lot more shirts. I because I personally like vinyl. I like printable transfers. I wanted summation more so for the harder things like mugs and drinkware and hard substrates, plaques to make awards and stuff like that. I wanted to use summation for that. And when I'm doing that, I don't have to use as much paper. Most times, I mean, if it's like a bleed, I'll have to cover it up, but then I can like reuse that because I can fold it and stuff like that. There's little hacks where you don't use as much paper. But for shirts, yeah, you end up using a lot of paper, right? So I just wanted to come on really quick and just kind of just share this with you guys that one, if you're balling up paper, don't do that. You're gonna fill up your trash can so fast or your recycle bin so fast. Lay it flat, that way you can fold it all up and then put it in the what's the name? I actually really want a big shredder. Once we get into a shop, I want a big shredder. That way it's going into like the big bags and like that stuff can just be recycled like that. But this is how I leave everything flat as far as the cover papers and the prints. I just leave those flat so that it's easier to toss them and recycle them. Second part of this is just imagine how high and how much paper, how much more if you dislike using like that much paper, imagine if you're not using, honestly speaking, sublimation paper. This pile would be a whole lot higher. So much more paper. So that is the second thing. And then in just being efficient. If you had a job and you had to do this much and like this is what they needed, would you be able to do this in 24 hours, 36 hours? Or would you look at this and be like, man, that's going to be like a 3, 4, 5 day job, you know? And then imagine if you're doing it and you are ripping and tearing the paper versus just simply cutting off the ends. How much more time would this stack have taken? How much more time would this stack have taken if you had to press for 30 seconds, for 60 seconds? How much more energy would you have had to use if you had to set your heat press at 400 degrees? We are about helping you guys be more efficient, to be able to get more done, for it to be done in a manner where it's not as much waste, and just educating you guys. So when we are thinking about supporting companies and stuff, I know Amazon is like, we all want to kind of go there. It's like Quick Prime. Y'all know that we ship out same day orders before 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. It goes out the next day. We don't hold on to your orders, and you know, we don't have trucks that can just come around and just deliver it to you. You got to wait for UPS and USPS, but we do our best to get it out to you in a timely manner. So support the companies that support you and provide you information, tools, and resources that's actually going to help your crafting to where it's not such an expensive hobby for you, or to help your business. Thank you. I haven't started sublimation for a couple of reasons, but I'm ready. And this demonstration sold me on your products. Efficiency is important. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do you guys have any questions for me? I'm about to go. I'm not about to make breakfast. I know it's Father's Day. I'm out of it. I'm tired. I'm exhausted from this weekend. So I'm about to go hit up Jackson's for some breakfast. But if you guys have any questions for me, hopefully I'll be back into like the full swing of things Monday. I normally do a live video in the morning. Hopefully in the morning, I'll be okay to do that video. If not, I'll definitely see you guys on Tuesday. And I'm planning to release all the information about the SVG course and some other things that are coming up. Also, if you guys go probably later on today or tomorrow, quite a few people, they wanted to see the program that I did. The link for it will be on my website soon. All right. Any questions for me before I get off? If there are any males on here who are fathers, happy Father's Day. And then, of course, you know, it's Juneteenth weekend. I'm actually about to, my heat press is on because I'm about to press a few shirts. We have some things on our HS Ink Designs. And so I had a last minute order for our blueprint shirt. She's like, I didn't even know you had that. She's like, you didn't even advertise stuff for Father's Day. I said, girl, I was dealing with my grandmother passing. But we have the blueprint line and it just says, men must be, and it's like the blueprint. So she wanted to order one of those to give to the father of her children for, you know, just because she feels like he is the blueprint of their family. And then we also have my Black Pledge design, and I have a order for that. So I have to press those. So I'm about to do a little bit of work, but then I'm going to go and chillax. All right, so I don't see any questions. Well, thank you guys so very much for joining me. I can't believe I actually did a video in less than 30 minutes. All right, guys, until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Go check out our website. The link is in the description of this video, shop.hsink365.com. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. Share the video, guys. This was great information. If you feel like this is great information right now before we get off, go ahead, drop some hearts so it also helps the algorithm. Hit share, hit like if this was good information for you guys. Hey, just say. Hey, just say. I still want my flags. I know. I'm working on it. I will work on it. Okay. But yes, give the video a thumbs up, drop some hearts if this was valuable information for you guys, and I shall talk to you later. Peace.